I am originally an architect from Bombay. Um, Lived all my life in Bombay except some years I was in America, in the US, doing my master's in architecture. Most of us potters, not everyone, are students, ex-students of Golden Bridge Pottery in Pondicherry, where Deborah and Ray have, in the early 70s, set up Golden Bridge Pottery on ashram land. And South India has no culture of high-fired ceramics ever. Yeah, South India is only known for, in the old days, a place where there is only terracotta, low temperature stuff, which people use in their own daily lives. So we don't have this, historically we don't have this kind of stuff happening at all in India. Ray and Deborah have started this, and now it's kind of mushroomed all over the country. There are a few other places in Delhi and Banaras and places where it's also happening. These are small intimate objects that you want to hold and explore and turn around, and surprising little things around that you want to. I like people to touch the clay, to feel it. I also use the red dot in my work a lot, if you will see in quite a few pieces. Mandala Pottery, for example, is known for happy glazes. You see, with all these different studios in Auroville, people who come to Auroville to look for pottery should not find the same kind of look and the same kind of forms and the colors everywhere. So most studios have a certain aesthetic that they want, and somebody does very clean, simple forms and simple glazes. We, for example, do what we call happy glazing, which is like, overlapping colors and making them bright and happy. These are abstract forms of a Devi. It doesn't have to be necessarily a particular name or any particular manifestation. So the red dot adds to the sacredness, to the piety of the piece, I think. I use this in my work. I use it in my boxes here. So there is a contemporary feel to the piece, as well as there is a certain amount of Indianness to it. There is stamping and embossing. I put a lot of text in my work. I use discarded textile block stamps, or I make my own with my own handwriting. So right now in India, we have this problem that ceramic art is not appreciated as much as paintings, for example. So that's why I call this the crusade series. It's my crusade to kind of get the two mediums that I work with together. And now tell me, where's the difference? Because they both look the same, they more or less feel the same, and that's the crusade, to get a person who's seeing it to understand that there's really no difference between these two materials. In Indian, in Sanskrit, for example, there is no separate word for art and craft. In the Indian language, it's all called kala. Kala, yeah? This series here was done for a show which was called Mati. Mati is clay. And it was in Delhi. It was an international show where we had to make, there were 100 potters invited from all over the world, and we had to make something in terracotta, which is a material we don't use here too much because it's low temperature. And since there were so many people coming with pots, I decided to do something different. This was also the time when the Bombay blasts happened, the explosions and the terrorism and all that. So I decided to take that as the idea and work on a very comic book kind of look to an event that has shaken up the whole country. I'll make you a treasure box, yeah? It's one of these sort of things here. This I call the Navagraha series, which are 9 planets facing in different directions. You see these in temples in South India, where the deity is facing 9 different directions depending on the planets and stuff. I make you a treasure box. It's very simple. You saw this was cut, scooped out. Name goes in. And essentially, that's the piece.
For unloading, because they still have to send the money. Yeah, you don't because your chest can crack when you walk. Before I came to Auroville, I was very much interested in Buddhism, and also here in Zen Buddhism. And there you start working with something without thinking even about the result. And that I've found totally fascinating. That means also here in Auroville, I started to throw. I started with throwing on the wheel in the profession of pottery, what still fascinates me a lot. And I was demolishing and breaking everything I did for 3 months to half a year, until I threw teapots and everything. And after I broke them nicely into powder and started again. And for me that was so such a freedom in it, to enjoy the doing and to become totally into this, and still to try to do the most beautiful thing, knowing at the end it doesn't matter. It's not needed. It's not needed for you or for something you can touch. It's just for the sake of doing.